This is welcome to our podcast, everyone. We're going to continue with the stash talk, and then we'll get to the finer points. But this is very important that I know a lot of you guys are interested how Sean is able to grow such an unbelievable thick piece of face art like he does. For those that are only able to listen and don't have the full video, I apologize because you're not getting the full extent of what this is about, but
I'll describe it to you. It's about 3 centimeters long with like 33 hairs.
33 hairs. But he's also growing a goatee now that's coming in rather nicely. It's like a chia pet, maybe in the second week, where just a little bit of sprouting going on.
About like 12 pounds of just testosterone hanging off my face.
Mm-hmm.
For those of you watching, we'll put up that picture so you can see
There you go.
the glory.
Mm-hmm.
Dallas thought he could intimidate me by bringing in that thing on his face, but
Didn't work.
No,
Not working.
it doesn't phase me.
He just came right back with his comb. They're just gonna be.
We actually have a special mustache comb now due to Jacob Dickinson sent me one.
Shout out to Jacob. Thanks for that.
I don't know if he was trolling me or if it was respect,
It was respect.
But joke's on him, you guys.
but it's up to interpretation because now I keep it with me in my hat at all times. So I am never unprepared.
It's good. Do you plan on shaving it anytime soon, or are you gonna let it go?
I don't know if I can. I feel like if I took a razor to it or like the electric one, like a trimmer, it would just break the trimmer. I think the power is
It is rather. It's bushy. It's wiry.
it's out of my hands now.
It is. I agree. When you're brushing to your teeth, does it? I mean, how does that affect that scenario?
It's palatable for me. Like it works with me. So if I have tasks to do, it's very forgiving.
It is. Okay.
Does Emily like it?
She loves it.
Did it tickle her?
It's an odd question.
That's the after hours podcast. We're gonna have to. This is the midday version.
Loki, hey, get out of here.
We
Out
got
of the way.
dogs everywhere, mustaches.
Yeah, it's an odd question. I'm just gonna move on from that one.
I'm curious, when you go out in public, and I mean, you're wearing your face mask like all of us, I assume, right? Or do you cut a little hole in it so just that can come out? Does it need to breathe, or? I mean, right now we're troubling times. It's hard to have a mustache right now in public because you have to.
Yeah. I think the mask is good for everyone around me so that they're not intimidated
Fair
more than anything.
Fair question. Fair point.
I feel like I can get more oxygen that way so it grows better
Without the mask or with it?
with it. You know, you're just
Or like
breathing
something like
onto it.
photosynthesis or something like that.
Yeah, definitely.
Are you gonna let the rest go, like the flavor saver and the goatee?
That's been the last week or so, and I think we're just gonna see how it goes. I've never gave it a shot,
I think now's the time.
right?
Mm-hmm.
So let's see how it goes.
What about your mother? What's your mother think about it?
She
Support you?
hasn't talked to me in a month,
Since I started growing it.
so
I'm sorry.
it's a price I had to pay. She's still around. She just texts me from the same room we're in. She won't
Yeah,
look at me.
she won't look you in the eye. I get it. All right, guys, that's all we have for today. Join us next week for next time.
For another great podcast.
Another great.
Mustache podcast.
All right. Well, we wanted to get together and just continue to offer you guys something as far as services from this gym. Obviously, right now are crazy times, but we still wanted. We know that we're one big family, and when we can't see each other, that's taken away. It does leave a big void or a big hole, and there's 750 other podcasts out there that probably provide more information and more entertaining than this one, but you don't know these people or those people, and you do know us. So the whole point of this was to give those people that wanted to kill some time, sit down and watch, or put this on when they're working out, or maybe going for a long drive or whatever it is, a chance to hear our voices and see us, because I know that is what the majority of the people who come here pay for, right? It's not the programming, it's not the equipment. You guys come here, or we come here to see each other, the banter back and forth, that friendliness and familiarity of being together is a big part of our life. So that's what this is all about. We're going to talk a little bit. It also is going to give us a chance to kind of let you know what the gym is doing as far as this shelter in place and the things we have tried to do and the things that we'll continue to do to open up, because we know there's a large part of our group that definitely wants to come in. And we're kind of getting to a point where at least we feel like it should be up to the people. If they want to come in, then let those individuals come in. If you're still not ready to come in, then obviously we'll continue to work with you, whether it be put your account on hold or let you take equipment, continuing to do the Zoom classes. But just from the response we've gotten from many of you, a lot of you want to get back in here. And our personalities is we are not going to stop trying to think of ways legally and safely to get those individuals back in here. So we have some information from the city of Lodi that they sent out after their last council meeting. We've been watching all of those council meetings for both the city. We've been watching the council meetings for the county. We've been talking to city managers. We've been talking to city attorneys. We've talked to county attorneys. So we have a pretty good idea about what we can and can't do, but we just wanted to share that with you here, as well as kind of talk about our whys, about why we work out, why we started CrossFit, and then that will be a little bit more of the fun part, but we at least wanted to get some serious information out there to inform people of what's going on. So before we get into that, any other questions, comments, concerns?
The gym looks really pretty.
It does.
Thank you. Maybe Dallas can add like how are you going to be able to do like a cut and show?
Sure, I can show.
We can
whatever you
show.
want, yeah.
Is that going to cost more? Or is that part of this one?
It's going to cost a little bit more.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we'll pay it. It's worth it. So yeah, we've done a ton of work in here. I know some of you guys have seen it, but the gym does look, I would say 90% different, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
We've painted, so we got the paint up. We've moved a wall. We're about to take out another wall. We're going to lay down some more flooring. We've changed the retail room. We've changed the kids' room. We obviously got a brand new rig that's just dying for you guys to get on it. We rearranged a bunch of equipment. So we've added some handstand push-up spots for the walls. We've been hard at work. So we want you guys to be able to come back to a brand new gym because we know when we do get back, everybody's going to be super pumped and excited. So we're very, very happy with everything that we've been able to accomplish. But now we're definitely ready to get people back in here. As far as the gym itself, I know we tried to open May 1st, and I'll be the first to admit that that was a calculated risk. It wasn't at the time we had asked the city, but it was more of those ask for forgiveness instead of asking for permission. There was a lot of confusion going on about what was allowed, what wasn't allowed. I know you guys got the email about the plan that we put together, but we knew other gyms were going to open. We felt that, not trying to be disrespectful or arrogant or above the system, but we did feel at the time that for those people that wanted to come in, we could provide them just as safe an environment as if going anywhere else right now, whether it be Costco or Walmart or Sprouts or any of those essential stores that are open. Obviously, a gym's a little bit different. You have people breathing hard, they're sweating, and we understand that. And that poses some different challenges and risks. But again, we wanted to at least try. We obviously made it like 3 or 4 classes before the police came and told us that we couldn't operate. And he was very polite and friendly, and those individuals, many of them, I don't think want to be doing that job, and that's the consensus I got. But he was able to give us the information that we needed to start that next step. So then since that time, we wrote the city council. They had their meeting on May, I think it was 6th or 8th, whatever that Wednesday was, and they read the letter that we wrote during their council meeting, along with probably 50 other ones, pleading for the city to open back up. And then we also wrote the county, which had their meeting yesterday, and I know they read that letter along with hundreds. It was about 90 minutes worth of people writing letters to get the place back open. And basically at this point, the city of Lodi has sent a letter to the governor. And I know there was an article in the Lodi News Sentinel, but it was not all the information was correct in that, and that's why we wanted to do this, because we just got a letter from the council members, and it's sitting in front of me. But basically, Lodi has written a letter to the governor asking for their ability to kind of govern themselves, and the one-size-does-not-fit-all approach is definitely not working with us. They outline how many cases there are in Lodi in the county. They outline how low the hospital is, how much the hospital has had to lay people off. And so we're bringing this up because Lodi definitely is taking steps to get us back open, which is encouraging for us. We've written, at the end of the day, though, a gym is a non-essential business. I know some of you guys have gotten doctor's notes from your doctors that have said that you need to exercise at a gym. And that's honestly our next approach. Is we've changed our statement of information from a gym to a wellness nutrition studio where it's not just working out, but we are here to offer a variety of services. So as we navigate that and we get phone calls back from the county attorney and the city attorney, we'll definitely let you guys know what that comes to fruition. Hopefully by the time all of that plays out, we will actually be back up and running. This might be the guy. Should I answer it?
Yeah.
We're going to answer now. We'll see who it is. Hello?
Yeah, Mr. Phillips?
It is Mr. Phillips.
Mark Miles from San Joaquin County Council's office. You called and had a question.
I did. So if I own a nutrition and wellness studio in Lodi, and I know basically I was curious the process of going from if we're labeled as a non-essential business, if we're starting to get letters from our members' doctors about being able to come in, is there a way to get changed to an essential business, or do we just have to wait until our type of sector gets approved to open? Does that make sense?
When you say a nutrition and wellness studio,
Yeah.
what do you mean by that?
So we help people can come in and we can help them with their nutrition help, with meal plans, diet plans, just overall lifestyle assistance. And we've been trying to do that through Zoom classes. We have some equipment as far as physical rehab stuff we've been lending out, but a lot of our members want to get back to a place where they can come in. And we have the ability to limit it to the amount of people and follow all the social distance guidelines that other essential businesses are. But I know that certain sectors still, like, unless you're labeled an essential business, then or a licensed healthcare, you kind of have to wait. And that's what I was curious about.
Yeah, we're still stuck with there's a bit of a dichotomy up at the state. On one hand, the governor talks about moving away from the essential, non-essential into a risk-based analysis, like you can find in the John Hopkins studies.
Okay.
That look at duration of exposure, frequency, and some other factors. But then they go ahead and they keep publishing the essential, non-essential list. And so, we're kind of caught between a rock and a hard spot. I don't know that there's a way to recategorize yourself at this point.
So if I change like the statement of information, because that's the other thing is I've heard of other businesses in other counties doing this where they change their statement of information and then they're now allowed to operate. And I know those are other counties and maybe that doesn't fly here, but we're just, I'm just curious why I can't have 3 people in here helping with lifestyle stuff, but they can stand shoulder to shoulder in Home Depot and Costco, like everybody.
Right.
So,
right. I mean, that's a list that was published by the feds and then adopted by the state. That we're kind of governed by. We don't have an ability. We can be more restrictive and say no.
Yeah. But there's not a way to, like the county or the city, there's no way for them to, if I show that my business can be essential from a healthcare standpoint, can I not then operate? And then if somebody shows up, I can say, well, look, the county approved my ability to do this. If they have doctor's notes saying that they come in here.
Right. Presently, we don't have an ability to do that. What's the name of your business?
It's Fulcrum Fitness.
Yeah.
So it's, okay. So it sounds like we just, it's
our hope that, we saw some additional movement from the state yesterday, opening up some businesses, not quite to the personal service yet. So I don't know when that's going to occur, but we're hopeful that we get direction from the state soon on that.
Okay. And then from the state, I know the county had a meeting yesterday. Are they going to kind of push forward to try to?
We are. We're in the process of doing that. We've got some obstacles that under the state's category right now, we can't overcome those for 14 days. And even then, it's kind of something that's out of our control. One of their criteria is that we have 0 deaths in the county, COVID-related deaths, for 14 days.
Yeah.
And so we could get all the way down to day 13 and there be a death, and then we get reset. So we're pushing back on the state right now. I'm working on that today to try and get the state to reassess that threshold.
Yeah, to like so one death out of 750,000.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that is something that we're working on. Even though that would allow us to push through early and open up some of the phase 2. The gyms and the health clubs though are in phase 3. So we're gonna have to wait for more direction from the state on that.
Okay. So basically, if you are a gym or a health club service, there's nothing you can do. There's no way around it. You just have to wait until phase 3.
Not at this point. Not at this point.
But the county and cities are starting to push back to maybe change
Yes,
that.
we are.
Okay. Well, then I will
sure
let
are.
you get back to doing that because.
I appreciate that.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
All right. Thank you.
Yep. You're on the podcast. So there.
I thought the rule was one death in 14 days per certain amount of people. So like per 10,000 people or something like
It's
that.
cases per. It's one case per 10,000 per people.
Not deaths, case only.
Cases only. But for a county to open, and that's why there's. I know that was probably super boring, but for those that are curious and have questions, that was really helpful information because that was right from the county supervisor of attorney's mouth. That until they either push back to the governor and get a change, and that one death for 14 days, like there's really nothing they can do. But I know other counties are opening up and doing things, so hopefully Lodi and San Joaquin can start doing the same thing because we're not saying that, it's as hard on everybody, but yeah, 10 weeks is a long time for businesses like ours and like many of you to be shut down. So as you can see, we're trying to do our best to get this place back open. We're not sitting on our hands. We appreciate everybody who's continued to support us. Sean might be sitting on his hands, but there it is. But at this point, we're still in that wait and see game, and we'll put out more information in that next email about what our plan is and what you guys, what we're going to continue to offer you guys or what your guys' options are, and then we'll go from there. But we are confident when this thing ends, this place is going to be back open. It is going to be better than ever. We know that the energy and excitement is going to be amazing. So we're very excited for all of that. But it's time for me to stop talking and let other people talk. Don't you think?
Yep. Yeah, it is. No more than one
Yeah.
new COVID case per 10,000, and then no deaths in 14 days.
Savage.
Yep.
Crazy.
That's why Dallas is here.
Cut guy.
Cut guy. That's enough.
That's stupid.
It is. Strange times. But our city's trying to do everything. Our county's trying to do everything. We're trying to do everything. When we opened the first time, it was a little bit kind of on the we were putting our foot in the water, dipping our toe in the water. And next time when we open, we're not going to do it until we have full approval from the city or the county, just to make sure that you guys are safe, we're safe, and so we don't get any false hopes up. So that's the next thing we're working on. But with that, I think the next topic, we just wanted, everybody starts this for different reasons. Remembering those reasons is really hard, especially in times like this. So you have a group of 4 people right now who do this for a wide variety of reasons, who got started for a wide variety of reasons. So that's what we're going to touch on next. Anybody want to go first?
Justin does.
Justin?
Look
Not
at him.
me.
Look at him. He's
I
ready
not
to
wanna
go.
go
He hasn't
first.
said a single word this whole
Before
time.
we tell us each other, our
Yes,
lives, can
yes.
we talk about that workout we just did first?
Absolutely.
Yeah, let's do it.
That
Sorry.
Dallas decided not to do it.
We did.
Yeah.
We did.
Yeah, we did.
Because as I'm sitting here, my brain is fogged by the pain in my hips and in my ankles.
This is why I didn't do it.
My watch just told me I need to stand, so.
It just told you need to stand.
Yes.
Mine told me that I'm done for activity for the day.
For the week.
For the week, I'm done.
Don't want to know.
What
my
is your nickname?
What?
What is your nickname?
Big Mullet Daddy 69.
269.
So we did Justin gave us his workout, and it was
Simple.
simple in execution, right? I put it
Design.
On, I put it on design, yeah, on social media shortly after, because if you don't post it, it doesn't.
It didn't happen.
No one cares that you did
No.
it, right? It was 10 deadlifts, a mile run, 20 deadlifts, 2 mile run, 30 deadlifts, 3 mile run, like 4 times, right? It turned from 4 time to 4 completion, like very quickly, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And as much as you would think that the two movements kind of both affect the workout, it's mostly running.
Oh yeah.
The deadlifts are hard when you're doing them, but they go by quickly,
So quick.
right? 2 or 3 minutes at the most.
It's like 45 minutes of running.
It's 6 miles,
Yeah.
right? You're running like
Your
a
break is
10K.
deadlift.
Yeah.
only
Your break is
are
deadlift, yeah.
deadlifts.
That's a 275 deadlift.
Yeah.
275 deadlift. And running shoes, by
I
the way.
like, I like deadlift.
I
A
didn't
light
use running
deadlift,
shoes.
correct.
My feet are.
Yeah, but
very
you
badly
slow
from
the
it.
deadlifts.
He did it in
I
He
killed
did it
it.
in lifters.
Yeah.
The whole workout in lifters.
Deadlifts are really important.
Yeah.
I just felt like we needed to put some pretense on what we were doing
Beforehand.
better.
Yeah.
So if you hear us breathing heavy,
we're just testing out workouts for you guys to do when you guys come back for the first time.
testing.
That's one of them in the pool. So.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It was a great workout.
So as I'm sitting here fidgeting and trying to figure out why everything hurts, that's why.
That's why.
That's your why.
Yeah.
That's his why.
That is why I hurt. Especially with our warm up was a 3-rep max deadlift basically, and then
Oh yeah, Sean PR'd his deadlift, but we didn't have video, so technically it
Didn't
Yeah.
happen.
I didn't.
But
I didn't see it.
I didn't. Yeah.
He actually didn't see it.
Did you use straps?
I did.
See?
It doesn't get anything.
She
But
did.
I
Use
didn't
straps.
use a belt.
Oh. Cool.
See, I went belt on, strapless. See,
I think you
I
did.
used-
belt off
It's just
as
one big strap.
well.
Yeah. Big straps instead of two small ones.
it was so long ago, I forget.
Anyway, that
It was a good workout.
That was our pre-talk cast.
Our
How do you-
pre to our pre-pre
Yeah.
to our pre-pre-pre.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We've already covered like 4 topics.
It did take us about an hour to set everything up for this, so
All of this stuff.
And just to
here.
be clear, one
Yeah.
more time, Dallas did not do that workout.
I didn't. No.
he skipped it.
He told me what it was, and I was like, nah.
He talked like he was gonna come.
I did
Like,
not.
I
have the
oh,
text.
Yeah, just nail it a little bit.
Nope.
Come in, and then on my 3-mile run, and I see him driving up. And hey.
I thought you meant Central Time.
Yeah, whoops. I was pretty clear when I said, yeah, that's a lot of running.
Yeah.
No thanks.
No thanks.
So you just avoid hard things?
Yeah.
Is that the message you want to send to your kids? When they watch this in 10 years, that's what
yeah.
you want them to take away?
Yeah.
Sean's mustache, it's okay to walk around with something like that on your face. And
See, we all have our downfalls.
their daddy doesn't work hard. All right. That was a good workout.
It was.
Maybe we'll do it again for the next one so Dallas can do it.
I'll just do it later.
Since Dallas wasn't, why don't you tell us your why, Dallas?
Yeah.
What's the why? Like why?
Why did you get into this? Why do you work out? Why is it important to you? Why this gym?
Originally,
Why CrossFit?
Originally, I just wanted to get ripped.
I had to like,
That's what you do, right?
Just ripped.
Just ripped.
That was your.
Yeah, I was going to the gym for a long time, and I was like, this isn't working out.
remember
I'm
Dallas's
still
first
fat.
day here. Yeah, I, mean, I don't know who it was, but there was like hype, like, hey man, like this dude's really strong, and I'm like, they said he squatted like 500 pounds, and I was like, this guy
With-
probably like the bro guy at the gym that goes like
Yeah.
Quarter
6
dad.
inch, quarter
Yeah.
depth,
Yeah.
nothing.
On the
He's
Smith
in here,
machine.
like back squatting the first day in Air Maxes, which if you guys don't know, like it's like one of the worst shoes to lift in because they're
Yeah, bro. I
It
I knew
was-
nothing
it was-
about absolutely nothing about CrossFit. I
It
just
was
showed
awesome.
up.
But given that fact, he was still really strong.
Did
It
you-
still is.
It's still a quarter squat, I'm sure.
did you have somebody here you already knew?
No, I knew nobody here. I called up and I had a buddy. We
Cold
were
call, huh?
Yeah, a buddy of mine. We were like just trying to figure out what to do next because we were kind of bored with just like going to the gym and bro lifting. So we are like, hey, let's try something new. You want to try CrossFit? And the stereotype, especially then, was just like, those are only just a bunch of ripped dudes that all work out with their shirt off and flip tires.
It's not far
Fair.
off.
It's not. It's not. But
Totally far off that.
It's pretty far off, especially when I walked in and I was
Yeah.
like, this is not what I expected at
Yeah.
all.
Right.
I think we came to the mom class and we were like, oh, all right. It was the 8 a.m.
And
you
it
know.
probably kicked your ass.
Yeah, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
It was like a buy-in of 150 sit-ups and a buy-out of 150 sit-ups with like wall balls mixed in there. And I was like, why are we doing this?
Just totally smoked.
Yeah. Yeah.
So did you used to do like a traditional back and by,
Yep.
chest and try?
Yep.
You do legs once a month, of course.
No, I did
Like,
legs often.
often.
Because I was strong. I was strong.
You
Of
have a
course-
strong back.
Of course you're gonna do the things that you're good at.
Sure.
You know, so it's like I'm really good at squatting, and I want to make sure everyone in the gym is seeing me squat.
Just only shows up on squat days.
Yeah.
I like it.
It's fair.
Yeah, so that was my original why. I mean, obviously that's changed a lot since then. Like, you know, I started to see, you know, that it wasn't just, you know, my fitness that I was lacking, but I was lacking in a lot of areas of health and nutrition. And, you know, as I got more and more into it, and then becoming a dad and all these other things, it became less about being that guy that lifts a lot and caring more about my overall fitness. And how important that is to just be able to hang out with your kids, jump on a trampoline, and, you know, run with them or throw them around or whatever you're doing, and not. Well, I still feel like I'm gonna die most of the time because I'm sore. So, but even that's changed a lot. You know, I mean, it went from, you know, doing multiple Metcons a day to maybe a Metcon, you know, twice a week or something like that. You know, and just being more intentional about my weightlifting and being more intentional about my, you know, what I'm eating and, you know, how I'm sleeping and all those other things. So.
When did that start? When did you think that shift from just working out and destroying yourself on workouts to, hey, maybe I need to sleep better. Hey, maybe I need to eat better. Maybe I need to stretch more.
When I was doing CrossFit for a long time and realized I wasn't getting any better, you know, and you're not looking any better, your physique isn't changing, and you're wondering why.
Yeah.
Well, maybe it's not just fitness.
For sure.
Yeah. It's a powerful thing when you learn that. Gee, this is
Dude, you're
rude.
getting blown up.
Blown up.
So popular.
But yeah, for the first 6 months to a year of CrossFit, I was 196. Like, that was my weight for a long time, and like that was my weight really when I started. I might have lost a little bit here and there, but it didn't change until I was like, okay, some other things need to change, and then, you know, just started tracking my macros at first, or, you know, tracking when I was eating, and I mean, real quick, within like 6 months, I was down to 185. And it was just a change that needed to take place.
Yeah.
And I stopped drinking. That was huge.
That is.
Because once you track alcohol,
Right.
you realize real quick, wow,
How can a
I'm
liquid-
killing myself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like drinking bread.
Sh-
For a lot of
Or
those.
beer.
Yeah.
Sugar.
Yeah.
You're drinking sugar.
Well, and also realizing what-
Delicious, sweet,
Yes.
sugar.
yeah, and you realize too, like how alcohol affects your body in a lot of ways.
Recovery.
Yeah, your recovery. Like, how many of us after a competition go out and get a bunch of trash food and a beer?
100%.
Like,
Not
everybody.
minus the beer for me, but
Yeah,
yeah.
a lot of
I'll
people,
go-
like, especially when you first started. Like,
Yes.
when I was
Yeah.
first doing competitions, like, that was what we did.
You
And then I'd
gotta-
be like, why am I so sore? It wasn't that much more.
Right.
Oh, wait, it's because I drank beer right after
Mm-hmm.
I worked out. Like, yeah, your body can't recover because it's,
you're just
recovering your
destroy
liver.
yourself.
yeah.
Yeah. Now you destroy yourself every day, and you look at your little iWatch or whatever it is, and I burn this many calories, but you're the same weight.
Yeah.
Or your physique hasn't changed at all. Like 100%. That goes back to diet and nutrition,
Yeah.
sleep, and I think that's for a lot of people. That's that missing step. Which, if you guys like this podcast, we'll gladly do another one about nutrition. How powerful and how important that is.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, there's just so many components to it. I mean, CrossFit was obviously not the only component to fitness.
yeah.
Yeah. For sure.
You started because you wanted to look good and feel good.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, look good.
Look
Summer
good.
bod.
Yeah.
Feeling
Exactly.
good doesn't matter.
Yeah, exactly.
As long as
Because
you
I didn't
look
feel
good.
good for a long time. When you can't get off the couch, that's a problem.
And then how long before Melissa started coming?
Shoot, dude, that was like a year and a half, 2 years probably. And that was an intimidation factor. Like, you know, of course she wanted to say that's your thing, so I'm gonna let you do it. But
Yeah.
you know, there was a lot of it that's just the unknowns and being uncomfortable and having to walk into a place that you knew nobody.
Yeah.
but luckily, like, she, you know, developed a relationship with Stephanie before, and then that Stephanie's push helped her to get involved with the Elements class or whatever it was
Yeah.
then. And then Elements just wasn't happening at the good times for her, so that moved her into CrossFit, and then now she's doing CrossFit and not
Now
even
she's
thinking about
just
it.
a savage.
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 Yeah.
50-inch box jumps,
Yeah, 15 spot jumps.
100 unbroken pull-ups.
Yep.
Savage. And it's cool seeing you guys in here with your kids too. Seeing little human beings mimic their mother and father.
And that's been
working
really
out.
cool about being at home, because we're working out at home, and so it's like, hey Cooper, I'm gonna go work out. Do you want to work out? And he's like, yeah, let's go work out. And like,
Does he rip his shirt off right away?
oh well, he already had his shirt off
Cool,
because he just walks around and
Growing
it's.
up right.
And like, I'm lucky if they're not naked. So, but I'll just like put the pull-up bar down on my squat rack, and he'll just like jump up and do a chin up, and like just do random swings on the rings or whatever. And but he's like moving, you
Yeah.
know, he's not, and it's cool just to see him like doing that. I mean, I post videos of my kids all the time doing stupid stuff like snatching a baseball bat.
Yeah.
You know, and throwing it down. I'm like, how did you even learn how to snatch? I definitely never snatch at home.
You did not learn that from dad. Just those movements are so natural.
Yeah.
Like when you're little, you watch a kid squat. You watch a kid do, like their natural human movements.
Dude,
and then through
it's
life
insane.
and training certain ways or sitting or playing games all the time on your phone or computer, like you start to slouch, you lose that coordination, you lose that balance. I know. You lose that balance, but it's a powerful thing. That's what makes this fitness so awesome. That
I mean, even when kids are just like bending over to pick up something, you're like, how are you squatting like that?
just a perfect hinge, and then their chest is all upright. Takes me an hour to get down and pick something up, rolling around.
It's not really the getting down that's hard, it's the getting up.
Yeah. Yep. These young kids,
Another
they don't
midnight
know.
topic.
Yeah. These young kids, they don't understand.
I'm
One
old
day
now,
you
I'm
will.
21.
21.
Yeah.
Big 21-year-old. And when did you start this?
12. Oh shit, 12. Yeah, I've been doing it for a while. 7th grade.
Seventh
So,
grade.
I think I was like 12 or 13, like around there. Yeah.
Why did you start?
I started because
Did you have dreams of going to the games?
no, I didn't even know what the games were when I started. I mean, in 2012, I mean, you only knew the games if you did CrossFit kind of thing. And I joined because my family was going, and I'm pretty sure it was my mom and my sister that were going originally. And they would always like come back, and I was super competitive when I was little. Like, hated losing. I wanted to be like the best at whatever I did.
Just when you were little.
Yeah.
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 Changed now. But yeah, it's I was a poor sport though too. I mean, I struggled with a lot of that stuff. But anyways, my mom would go and she'd come back and she'd be like, yeah, like it's like an hour class. We did like we warmed up, did our workout that was like 8 minutes long, and I'm like, and I had friends like in high school because I was wrestling with the high school team, and they'd be in the gym for like a couple hours, and I'm like, your workout was 8 minutes, like. There's no way you can get like a workout in 8 minutes, and me being competitive, I'm like, oh, it's too easy. Like, I'm gonna go do it or whatever. And I came in, and I remember, I mean, in my 12-year-old brain, this girl had to be 80, but she was probably like 50. I don't know how old she was, but she kicked my butt in the workout. It was like, what the heck is happening? Like, this is not how this should be working right now.
Is she still here? That woman?
I haven't seen her in a long time.
I'm gonna find her and we're gonna. I'm gonna have her battle
I'm
you.
so bad with names, as most of you guys know, but I remember her, and she whipped on me, and
What was the workout? Do you remember?
it had rowing in it. That's all I know. And she I remember her on the rower, like getting off it way quicker than I was, and I'm like, this is not right. Like, I need to step up my game. So yeah, I kind of came in ever since then. I always did wrestling and football, and I came in during like my off season, or like on Saturday workouts with my family. My whole family ended up getting it, like my dad, my mom, both my sisters, and then from there, I mean, I did it throughout high school. After my sophomore year, I quit football to focus more on wrestling, which also allowed me to do CrossFit more, like, bigger portion of the year, because before I was only doing it a couple months. I started competing, doing like WOD for Cause, like the hazing, 31 Heroes. It's kind of like the local comps that we had here. and really enjoyed it and started competing more. I got introduced into like the team games. I didn't think I was fit enough to compete in those, and I volunteered at the games in 2015, and I got to see them compete, and I was like,
Really?
I think I could like hang with these guys. So the next year I tried to qualify. It didn't work out for me, and I aged out of the team division. And just from there, I ended up qualifying for regionals twice. And then, kind of after my first year at regionals, I was kind of burnt out on wrestling. And when I went into college, I knew I didn't want to wrestle. So I kind of, since then, been focusing on CrossFit and made the games this year, which is pretty cool.
Yeah,
It's all right.
it's
Yeah.
all right. I mean, this. Yeah.
Take like 4 steps back. Volunteer at the games. What were you volunteering? What were you doing?
What was I doing? When I volunteered, I was kind of in the back room. I wasn't like out on the floor or anything, but I would like be putting together. Ooh, those are fast dogs. I was,
I'm just waiting for them to hit that thing.
Yeah, I know. I'm like scared.
Sorry.
But anyways, I was
Trevor will
I would,
pay
like,
for it.
load the weights in the back room before we put the barbells out on the floor, and
So you're the weight caddy?
I was the weight caddy. Yeah,
There's a
shuffling things
shitload
back
of
and forth in the back. Oh, there's so many, and like, and it's like not just like a group of volunteers. Like, Rogue has their volunteers. Like, people in the Reebok like are doing like their things, and then like the judges like are all their volunteers. Like, there were so many, and honestly, if you guys had the opportunity, it's a lot of work to be like a volunteer. But when I went, I mean, I wouldn't do it for goods, but like you get like free pair of shoes, like bags and hats and shirts.
Worth
and
it.
They give you free food. I mean, I remember like watching on TV. I mean, I don't know if you guys remember like Jason Khalipa and Rich Froning and all those guys in 2015. That was kind of like when they were like coming up and really big. And I thought Jason Khalipa was like 6'3", like 220. Like I thought this dude was huge. And Rich Froning probably was like 6 foot, like 200 pounds. These guys are massive. And I remember stepping in the elevator, and Rich Froning came in with me, and I was like, he's a couple inches taller than me. I'm like, what
Yeah.
the heck? Of course, his biceps were the size of my head, but given the fact, I mean, it brought these guys that were like gods to me kind of back down to earth, and yeah, it was super cool, and I got to like see them like in person and compete, and at that time it was down in California, in SoCal, so it was a really cool experience to go down there and see.
And then so from volunteering at the games to competing at regionals, did you ever take a moment to like think about how far you'd come or what that?
No, for sure. I mean, I remember being at regionals, and like, it's, for those of you guys who don't know regionals, there was 8 regionals across the world, and there was 40 athletes at each regionals, and the top 5 went to the games. So my regional didn't have like all the top competitors in it, but we still had like Josh Bridges and the Fisher.
Some OGs.
Yeah,
some
some
good.
OGs guys,
Yeah.
and I remember walking out and like seeing these guys, and I was like, oh my gosh, like it's happening, like I'm here. I remember like puking before the first event, like.
Which is rare for you to get stomach issues before. Anybody
yeah.
who knows you, that's not rare. That's very.
I get really nervous, and I remember like.
Did you puke before this podcast?
Oh yeah. Sean was rubbing my belly, holding his hair back.
holding the mullet back.
But yeah, I mean, I was so nervous. I remember going back and watching the video of like that first event, and I was this pale white, like it was like a 1,200 meter run and then a version of Murph. And I remember just like, you watch me like run, I'm like looking at everybody the whole time, like, am I running too fast or running too slow? Like, what am I doing? And yeah, those nerves definitely have never gone away from me, but definitely been able to control them a little bit better. But that experience of going out there on the competition floor and in front of people like that it's a great feeling.
So now that's your why, right? You're an athlete. Is that why you do this? Predominantly. Do you think of it as a job? Do you wake up in the morning and you're like, this is my job? Or is it?
It's been a very recent thing for me to start thinking of it like that. I mean, I qualified for the games through Filthy 150 in November. I didn't get my invite probably until like February. And I would say, honestly, it hasn't really like set in till like, honestly, a couple days ago because I mean, the whole time beforehand, it was like, I was just like, my goal was to qualify this year, but I just didn't think it was gonna like happen. I was signed up for like 6 or 7 sanctionals, And the first one was a very stacked sanctional, and I was kind of doing it for like fun. Like I was just like, I normally go to Wadapalooza, and it's like a big event and crazy, and I'm like, oh, I'm gonna go to the Filthy 150. It's in Ireland. My whole family's gonna go. Like, I'll go compete. I'm obviously gonna give it my all, but we're in Ireland. We're gonna stay for an extra week, use it as like a vacation. I just did not expect to win, and I remember after the first day, I was in second, and then after the first workout of the second day, I pulled into first, and then the rest of the competition, I was in first place, and the whole time, every workout, I was like, all right, this is the one, like, I'm going to bomb in this one, and then the next workout would come, and the next workout would come, and the next workout would come, and then
It's a great strategy.
the final workout was wall balls, and if any of you guys know, that's like one of my big weaknesses. I do them like all the time, but like these guys are talking about going unbroken and all this stuff, and I'm like, I know I've been working on them, but there's no way I'm going unbroken. And I remember doing that last workout, and there was a total of like 98 wall balls, and I remember dropping at like 25 and at like 50 and at 60 and at like 70, and I finally finished, and I like turned around from the wall, but it was 3 cleans, a bunch of wall balls, and then 3 cleans back. And I remember turning around and seeing people in the clean, and I'm like, it's happening again. If you guys don't know, in Granite Games, I was in a qualifying spot and dropped out. This one, I was like, oh, it's happening again, and I finished, and I got 3rd in that event. I thought I was in like last, but yeah, that's like kind of one of my regrets from that competition is that like the whole time I was just thinking about when I was gonna like fail instead of like thinking about like how cool it is that I'm actually might qualify for the games,
Yeah.
kind of thing. And I think it's never really like set into me like
Until
super
right
deep
now.
until like
Right this moment, right here.
yeah, this moment right
This
here.
is right
it.
here.
But yeah, no, it's pretty cool. And then obviously with everything going on, I mean, things got canceled. I was really excited for one of my competitions that got failed, and now the games are actually happening and they're qualified. So now it's like, shoot, like I'm actually gonna be there. So
So even you sometimes feel like you're gonna fail.
for sure.
It's an important message, folks. We all
Yeah.
experience it.
Yeah, but kind of got away from the question. The reason why I do CrossFit is I like it because there's always something to get better at, and even if you think you're really good at something, there's a very, very, very high chance that there's someone better at you than it. And even like if you're really good at muscle ups, you can always like get better at muscle ups. Like if you're really strong, like you can clean 300 pounds, like you can always clean 301 pounds. Like you can always improve, and I really like that. Like, I have weaknesses that I know I need to work on to get better, but even my strengths I can even get better at. So it's really cool to try to kind of build everything up and try to push it towards the top. And that's what I really enjoy about it. And no matter what, the guy that just came into CrossFit, that's his first day, and I've been doing CrossFit for 8 years now. We can do the same workout, and I bet you at the end of that workout, we're both on the ground, like, dying. And I think that's so cool to, like, come in and everyone can do the same thing and still feel like that hurt,
Yeah.
which is really cool.
I agree. What do you think, Dallas?
It's great.
It's great.
It's great.
Sean knew it was his turn, so he was like,
Yeah,
"Oh,
Sean's
yeah."
out.
Sean bounced out. We're gonna wait for Sean.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's
we'll
like,
wait for him to come back.
That is interesting to hear that in the middle of a qualifying workout, you're just waiting for yourself to bomb.
I
That's
honestly was. I didn't tell anybody that, but in my head, that's definitely what was happening.
Yeah.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I was giving it my all, and like every time I go into a competition, like I just want to leave the competition knowing I couldn't have done any better. And if I did that, like I don't care if I got first place or last place, like I'm not going to be mad. And even though I was waiting for myself to fail, I know I finished every workout, knowing I left everything out there and couldn't do anything more. So even on that last workout where I was like, it's going to happen, my mind was like, it don't matter. Like you're going to go out there, you're going to give it everything. So even if you like don't make it, like you know you couldn't have done better. You don't want to like look back and regret the experience. I just think I didn't like enjoy it as much as I could have. Plus I didn't know that I had to get like 18th in that event to still qualify.
Yeah. So going into the games, do you think will you have those same, or now that you're there, that's the goal? Like was getting there the goal, and now that you're there, it's whatever.
My goal has always been to get to the games, but I've never I would say that the regionals that we're in were some of the hardest regionals when those were around. But my mindset was like, if I do qualify in this regional, like I know when I get to the games, I'm gonna be able to compete. I never wanted to go to the games and then people be like, "You were in the games that year?" Like I want people to know that I went to the games and like I was able to compete with everybody. I just wanna
Not
be
not
that
just
guy
for
that-
your mullet.
Yeah, not just for the mullet.
You want to be known for more than your mullet.
Yes, I do. I want to go out there and compete and like show people that I earned it, and that's kind of my mindset going into the games this year. Is I don't want people to think that like qualifying through the Filthy 150 was like a fluke kind of thing, and that's why I was really excited for the other competitions that I had lined up. They're not happening anymore, but I was really looking forward to those to show people that like, hey, like I can compete at the highest level, and I'm going to do that at the games this year.
Absolutely. It's a good why.
Well
Sean, Sean, you want to follow that up? I know it's a similar story.
Hi. What's up? My why. I think everybody's whys change as you go. Kind of like Dallas's story. I started out my senior year of high school is the first time I stepped into a CrossFit, and I always heard of CrossFit. Doug was just humping the shit out of it. Sorry.
Heard from his dad.
Ravi.
When I was in high school, there were people older than me that I respected in certain sports that had said they did CrossFit, so I knew it was a way to get better at the sports you were doing. So I had looked into it, and I started it in high school to get better at what I was doing. And when I was at the regular gym, I think, the bro gym, I think your biggest obstacle there is you don't know what you're doing. Like you don't have a plan. You don't know if the exercise you are doing feels the right way, right? Like
Right.
even if you look up some kind of bench squat deadlift program like most athlete people do in high school, you don't know if you're getting the correct stimulus, or you think you are, but you're not.
Are you going low enough? Is your form right?
Yeah, when you're
Your percentage
deadlifting,
right.
like if you stand it all the way up, for most people, like it's good enough. Whether you sit it up right, which is the point of it. So that was my biggest issue there, was I didn't know what I was doing, and it was a good opportunity for me to learn what to do. Loki,
Ravi,
hey,
these are the issues we'll iron out before the second one. So just keep working with us, people. Give us a couple. Smash that like button.
Comment below.
Comment below.
Make sure you subscribe.
Hashtag team something. Team stash.
yeah, before I learned what I was doing, I thought like the tighter shirts you bought meant the bigger you were, and that strategy only lasted until I got to a small in children's, and then I had no more sizes to go down, and I had to figure out how to get bigger around that and stronger. So I remember coming into the gym, and my goal was to get bigger, faster, stronger, more athletic, right? And then from there, my why was kind of just, I was leaving for the Navy after high school, and I was trying to be in the best all-around shape for that, being as strong as I could, fast as I could, and healthy as I could. And then when I came home, my why was I wanted to see how good I could get at CrossFit, and that's what's really cool about this, is it motivates you. It's something outside to do rather than your job or your kids or your family. It's another healthy avenue for you to pursue that benefits you in other areas of your life. So I wanted to see how good I could get at this. Early, it wasn't a like, I want to make the games or I want to whatever. It was a get better every day kind of thing. And that's looked different throughout the years, like where I was working out or who I was working out with or how much I was working out. And that's kind of still the train I'm on with this, just seeing how good I can get. I really like I want to get to the games mentality he has, because it's a finite goal and it's measurable and obtainable. but for me, that's never really been. It's not that I don't want to make the games. Like if I do, like fucking right on, right? But it's my own like human potential. I think is what I'm exploring. And sometimes that means I'm running more, sometimes that means I'm lifting more, sometimes that means I'm doing neither. Like today, it showed that I haven't been running or lifting. Sometimes it means you're doing all of them, right? And it's cool to see that as I've done more lifting, like my running stayed pretty good, or as I've done more rowing, swimming, biking, like I can still do big sets of gymnastics and whatnot. I think the personal human potential is where my why is at right now. It's very selfish because I want to see how good I am, and it's not just how good I am at CrossFit. It's how like I was given a body, and there are a lot of genetics that goes into the body you're given, but I want to see like what my upper limits are across all of these domains, I guess. And that's kind of where I've been for the last couple of years, just trying to see how good can I get at this while being good at this, while being good at, like, I want to be, no obstacle ahead of me is unconquerable. I want to be able to lift, I want to be able to run, I want to be able to swim, all these things at the same time. And then if I get to a point where I don't get any stronger, then you gotta find a new goal. But I don't know if I'll ever get there.
Good way to like live life. That's how I like to do it. Like I want to be able to like do everything. Like I want someone to give me a tricycle or a unicycle and just be able to like.
Why are you looking at me like
ride
that?
it.
Why
I
you?
don't know. But I want.
How dare you? I haven't. How dare you?
Yeah, I found a unicycle recently and I rode it every day for like 2 weeks until I could ride it. So.
I was given 2 minutes to learn, and
You
I
didn't
did
get
not.
it.
So, if anybody has a unicycle out there, I'd love to borrow it. I have a new task I need to accomplish.
Yeah, like Sean said, like you want to be able to like swim fast and then run fast and then lift heavy and then.
Like I would like to be able to like dunk a basketball in the same day that you run a sub 5.5 minute mile. Same day you also do a 450 pound back squat. Like basically the limits of your own potential is what I'm trying to find.
Yeah.
Just 450.
Look at Dallas showing his pretty feathers over there.
For reps or for what?
Just peacock.
I just want to lower it and then drop it.
That's a good why. You say you're selfish though, but I think you also you take what you do and then you're a coach for a reason. And even though you have your attitude and you have your kind of approach to things, which is this I don't care, I'm a selfish person, deep down, people who know you, like that couldn't be further from the truth. And that's why so many of our members, and that's why they love you, and I think that's why you are good at what you do. Is because, yeah, you may be selfishly doing it because you individually want to get better, but you also then take those things that you learn and you share them to people. So it's a special thing to be able to do both of those and not just be so self-centered with it all, but then to be able to know, hey, I can relate to this person, even though our goals, like individually, they may be different, like globally, they're the same thing. We want to get better. And I know what it's like to suffer, and I know what it's like to work hard, and I know what it's like to be frustrated. So during those shitty times, you help them through it, but then you also, when you see somebody do something that they couldn't do before, like you make sure that you let them know how awesome that is. And that's because you pay attention and you value the hard work that they put into that. So that's
Or he does that so he has a key to the gym.
true. There also could be that. So he likes to fool people that he just struts around with that stash and doesn't care. But deep down, he cares.
Cares
You know,
deeply.
He cares deeply.
I think it's so exciting for me, and it makes me feel so good where, like, I remember my first, 185 snatch, and I thought I was the tits, you know? Like, I had a guy in the same lifting session with me hit 205 and 225, and I was like, doesn't matter. You're good.
But how much did they weigh?
Mine was cooler.
Yeah.
Right? I think it's just, it makes me so excited when I get all these PRs or when I like push my upper of what I think is possible, and it's like the first time you clean 225, it opens up a whole new, playing a whole new game now. You're going to, like, your weights now are 225, 275. And then once you clean 275, like, those are now your working weights, and you've got all these other weights to work with. And it's exciting and it's cool, and I do think I try to share that with other people and get them to challenge themselves. But I'm also not a Nazi about it. Like, I'm probably gonna get Taco Bell on the way home, and like you can want to get better and you can push yourself to get better, but you gotta live your life too. Like, I'm not, when I say I want to get better at deadlifting, like, I don't deadlift for 5 weeks straight, and anything that would negatively affect my deadlift, like a bunch of gymnastic work or a long run or whatever that people think scientifically would not help your deadlift, like, I'm not a psycho about that. Like, I'm trying to get better at everything a little bit at the time, at the same time, while also living my life. And
While also eating Taco Bell.
Yeah.
like, I do follow like a workout program, and I enjoy that workout program because it's gotten me. It does the work for me. I just look up what to do and I do it hard, and then I go home, right? But then today, like a day where Justin has a ridiculous workout that I think is not beneficial to me. Like, it's fun to hop in and still do that because I don't look at that as like, oh, well, I'm missing out on my whatever later. Like, it's like, let's see if I can run 6 miles and do deadlifts while I haven't been running the last couple weeks, kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
It's more see what my body can do, not like, oh man, I have to do this, like, kind of deal.
Yeah.
Is how I've been approaching things the last couple of years.
I like it.
Solid approach.
Trying to be present. Doesn't always happen.
Is that me? My why?
It's you.
How long has this thing been going for? Do we still think we have people's attention?
Yeah, I don't even know. I can't really tell what this means.
If we lost them already, we lost them.
Yeah.
If they're still here, they're still here.
Is that why you went last?
Yep. They hear me talk enough. So my why, similar to, I think, like everybody who does this, we're all athletes, right? Whether you consider yourself an athlete or not. If you look, an athlete is somebody who trains or plays a sport or a certain physical task. And I think everybody who does this type of fitness is an athlete. And that ranges from the 80-year-old woman that smoked Justin on the rower
Yeah.
to the 10-year-old kids that are in our kids class. I always played sports growing up. I always went to the gym, the traditional gym growing up, and did the same thing that all of these guys did with the back and the bis and the chest and the tris. Never did legs, never did calf raises, because genetically my legs are just so massive. I know. So I never had to train them, which I'm super blessed about that. My traps, on the other hand, I constantly had to shrug because they're underdeveloped. But always physical, always active, and like most of us, I was looking for more. I wanted to continue to challenge myself. And at the time we had Da Vinci's, Erica had started working out at CrossFit Lodi. And of course, because she was doing it, I couldn't do it. So I had to wait till she got pregnant. And then I started doing it because I knew that she would definitely be better than me if we were both in there at the same time. So I had to give myself a 9-month heads up, a little advantage to try to catch up to her. And then from there, it was, I am somebody that is, I have to have a routine, and some would say that I'm an addict. I'd probably say that I'm an addict, and I know I've shared that a little bit, and that is the reality of who I am and where I channel that energy and what I choose to focus on. Hasn't always been the best thing, like I know many of you guys, and for me, what it allowed me is an outlet, a healthy outlet, to channel that part of my brain, and it helped me get through, like most of us, like an incredibly rough period of my life, because I had something to look forward to after I did it. I felt good. Because I was doing it, I would change the way that I was eating. I was changing the way that I was sleeping, which in turn, like whether at the time I knew that it was making a positive impact or not, it was making a positive impact. And I was taking it day by day of, I have to work out tomorrow, or I get to work out, or I want to work out. And I want to do good in that workout because I am competitive. And so because I want to do good in that workout, I'm going to stretch the night before. I'm going to eat good. I'm going to sleep well. I'm not going to drink, whatever it is, it didn't happen overnight that way, right? It took a long time to get to that place, but just like Sean even mentioned, just day by day coming in and working on things and wanting to get better. Looking back over the last 7 years, like it's developed into where I am now. So my why, it's a mixture of a bunch of different things. I wanted to be competitive. The gym we worked out at, the CrossFit gym that we started at, as far as like Justin was talking about, the sport of CrossFit, which I think a lot of times gets mixed in with the CrossFit training methodology, but the sport of CrossFit, the gym that we were at was pretty involved with that. So of course, at the time in my life, like that's the direction I went. So that's the way I trained, and that's the way that I kind of set up my life, is to allow myself that opportunity to train in that environment. And over the course of 4 or 5 years, we were able to do a lot of fun stuff. We went to regionals as part of a team. We went to Wadapalooza a handful of years. We did a bunch of local comps. And for a long time, that's what my why was, is it was, I want to compete. I want to challenge myself. I want to be better than the person next to me. I want to see how far I can go with this. And then after I had Sterling and I grew up a little bit more and I kind of realized what fitness had helped me get through, I've shifted my why, which is why we sold a restaurant, started personal training, and then eventually bought this gym, is because for me, fitness, especially CrossFit and especially their training methodology, when you look at it, I personally think it's the best thing out there for any individual, and it can be scalable by degree, not kind. So it can work for the 80-year-old, and it can work for the 12-year-old. It can work for somebody that's trying to be competitive, or it can work for somebody that's just coming in here after working a long ass day and they just want to move for an hour without being told or without having to think about what to do on their own. They're told what to do ahead of time. We warm them up. They're surrounded by other people. They get a good workout in, they get cooled down, and then they can go about their day. And there was something really intriguing about that to me. And that was a very powerful thing in my life when I was searching for something to kind of lock into besides my old habits. For me, I'm not somebody that can I'm just going to have one beer after this, or I have to be very careful about where I channel that energy. And having a place like this and being surrounded by people of like-mindedness that just want to work out, that just want to feel good, want to improve their quality of life was a very, it got me to where we are now, and it's what's going to continue for us to keep fighting for this gym and to continue to providing services no matter what your goals are. Whether it is you want to be competitive, then we'll offer you a program and we'll give you access to the gym and we'll do anything we can. You want to come in and you want to be able to squat without having to squat to a box, then we're going to do everything we can to get you to that point. And that why of helping people who are in similar positions of what I was in, or positions that I've never experienced, but I know that this can be a powerful tool or outlet. That is now my why about why I even work out, because I'm a big proponent of you have to practice what you preach. I would never ask you guys to do something that I myself wasn't willing to do. Again, that's just my philosophy. That's the way I go about it. And I think that's why coming in, offering a place that's a safe place, a friendly place, a healthy place where you can come in and improve your overall quality of life, then that's what we're all about. And that's my why about shifted to. Because it 100%, this type of fitness and this environment probably saved my life. It saved my marriage. It totally changed the trajectory of my life. And that's the truth. And I think a lot of people feel that way. They might not go as crazy as that, but from where I started in this fitness to where I am now, it is a totally different person, and it is 100% because of the community and what this is all about. And a lot of that touches on everything the other guys did. You want to get better every day. You're getting challenged. You need direction.
Trying not to get old.
Trying not to get old. Trying to keep up with your kids. Especially the older you get, when you're 36 years old and you see most of your friends, which I know isn't old, but it feels old. When you see a lot of your friends the same age, and you see what their quality of life is, and you see the direction and the choices that they've made, I know for me that's powerful, and I don't want to be that person who can't play with my kids because I'm too tired, or I don't want to be that person who has to take different medicines because of the way I've treated my body. I no longer have to train like an athlete and destroy my body, and I can still reap those benefits. You know, I can work out for just 10 minutes intensely. Maybe that's as hard as I can that day is only 80%, but maybe that 80% is 100% of what I have that day, if that makes sense. Like, that's what I'm happy about. And by doing that, I just know each day I'm putting myself in a position to enhance my quality of life. And that's what
Feels
this,
good to get better,
yes,
no matter what it is.
Yeah, exactly.
yeah.
Like, it like feels good. Like you said, like look at other people. Like gives you kind of like fuel. Like when you like feel good about yourself that you've been like been on the grind or doing whatever. I mean, for me, like it feels good that like I'm 21 and I haven't had a sip of alcohol yet, or like I haven't gone to the bar. Like I'm
That's
in
amazing.
college. A lot of my friends drink. Like, don't get me wrong, I have drank since I've been in college, but I could probably count them on this hand. I've been in college for
Yeah.
3 years. Like, I feel good when people ask me to like have a beer and I say no. Like, it feels good and it gives me like more drive rather than like
Dropping down, yeah.
yeah.
And that is because we're treading on silver. If you drink, this isn't it like, hey, you can't drink to do this.
Yeah.
But it is what the point, like if you, depending on what your goals are, that definitely makes, the
affects
reality
it.
is it affects it. Whether
Yeah.
you choose to realize it or not, it does affect it. And it's one of those things that if you're happy, because there's a lot of, just by being here, you're probably doing more than 99% of the population. Having a couple cocktails, because that's how you unwind, that's great. But it's, you have to just understand and accept the fact what that's going to do. And if you're okay with that, then by all means do that,
Like Sean's Taco Bell.
like Sean's Taco Bell. But it's, you know, if you come in here and I haven't lost weight, or why am I not doing better, like you have to be honest with yourself. You got to go to Taco Bell.
I'm joking, but I have to go.
You see him at the Bell.
Yeah, you got to figure those things out, like wherever you're not.
I mean,
you know,
I
when you're
I
not
mean, I
getting
have
what
a
you
bowl of
want.
cereal every night. Like I don't skip it.
Every night. Lucky Charms, Honey
No,
Nut,
Honey Nut Cheerios, Raisin Bran, Life.
almond milk, whole milk, coconut milk.
I just switched to almond milk.
Ooh.
Recently, I've done my whole life, and I took one of these tests because I care about my nutrition for some reason, and no more dairy. So
No more
I'm
dairy.
getting almond milk, but I still get to have my cereal, and that's all that matters to me.
Okay.
Makes me happy at night.
As
Makes
far
all
as-
like the broccoli and cauliflower and
Makes it all worth it.
makes it all worth it that I get to sit down and have my bowl of cereal at night.
As far as having maybe an addictive personality goes, there are a lot worse things you could be addicted to than working out.
For sure.
Like
And
it's-
I've,
Or Cheerios.
Like, cereal. But
Yeah.
coming in here and using this as an outlet during the day, taking a shirt off in August while the music's loud and the doors are rolled up and you're high-fiving and whatnot, like, there's a lot worse things you could be doing. So this is a very positive outlet, and I think that's the only way you should look at it.
the feeling after a workout is the best. Like we all know that feeling of laying on the ground and those endorphins, and that chemical release is just as powerful, if not more powerful, than any substance can provide. And that's what I chase every day.
Yeah.
Because
Especially if you beat somebody, then it's even better.
right? And we're all competitive here. Whether people choose, whether they're trying to beat themselves or beat the person next to them, everybody in here is, they're competitive,
Yeah.
which is a good thing. And it's okay to be competitive. Yeah. How are we going? 90 minutes?
No, I don't know where we're at, dude.
I had enough. Anything else?
Probably 90 minutes at least.
I don't know, where are we at?
Well, we got,
gives me seconds, and I don't even know those seconds.
well, we got the
Yeah, we're at an hour and 12 minutes.
Perfect.
Y's in.
We got the Y's.
We recorded the
We record.
Kenny's representative without telling him.
I told him at the end. He might.
Yeah,
He's
it's
good.
technicality. Doesn't
Mhm.
matter. We told him.
Yeah.
Um,
We talked about the city and what's going on.
I yelled at the dogs multiple times.
Yeah.
I was waiting for the dog to knock over that camera. I was gonna cry.
I was not waiting. I would rather them not.
Yeah, it'd
Yeah.
be good if that didn't happen.
Yeah.
Um,
Unless we get some ad revenue out of this. You think we could buy a new camera with the ad revenue?
Absolutely.
We
Alright.
pull like Joe Rogan numbers.
Yeah.
100 listens. That's what I'm going for.
One of us has to go bald.
Oh my god.
I wanted to. Well, we're already bald.
You
Already
should go
pretty
bald
good.
and keep your
Yeah,
mustache.
already there.
There's a lot of
I'm
stuff.
on-
I mean, in doing that podcast, that like, if you wanted to do another one, like, I know a lot of like.
You've done a handful. This is the best one, right?
Oh yeah, by far.
So there you go.
There we go.
Endorsed
That's
by
all
a
you
pod.
need to know.
Have you ever taken your shirt off on a podcast?
Oh yeah.
It's weird.
First-
My pants.
Even better.
Sweet.
Your mother's gonna be watching this.
It's off now. Is it?
Yeah.
No, so it's
So it's
Oh,
on.
shit.
That
Damn, we should have kept that rolling before we figured it out. Kept that conversation going.
But yeah.
we can do another one. We just wanted to check in. Figured it was time. We miss all of you. Let you guys know what's going on. We definitely could do more of these. We could talk on nutrition. We could talk more about any of the things that we talked about.
Briefly. But for a long
Put it
time.
in the comments. What do you
Put it
want
in the
to talk
comments
about.
below. Is there?
Pause. Wow, that actually worked. After this is out, a day after, so they get some views on it, you should Instagram like a poll, like a couple options, nutrition or recovery or whatever, and have people vote on what they want to hear, or none, and we'll
None.
just leave.
We'll just stop.
This-
right there.
Just stop.
This was a very off the cuff, just getting together. I think if we had a more formatted plan about what we were going to talk about, like Sean said, nutrition, recovery, programming, workouts, whatever it is, we definitely would love to share more information with you. So you just got to let us know what you want to hear,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
Yep.
All right.
Anything? We're going to have to bring more energy from you, though, next time.
Sorry. I feel like I have the same energy as everyone.
Need more energy. All right. Thanks, guys, for listening. We'll be back with more,
Hopefully, maybe.
hopefully. Not with this adjutant. All right.
I gotta go pee.
Bye.